Hello again, I'm Bob Colton. We're continuing our conversations in Charlotte Public Schools, and we are honored to have October Employee of the Month, Denise Kendra. Denise, congratulations, what a great honor, and tell people what you do.
Oh, well, thank you very much. I actually do lots of things. I'm a secretary with all hats, actually. I wear all sorts of hats. I process applications for free and reduced families that qualify for free meals or reduced meals. I do all sorts of state reports. I type up menus. I make calls to parents when their accounts are in the negative. I make calls to parents when a child is getting more than what they should for lunch and the cashier is worried about it. I do money runs to schools. I work with the secretaries. I work with the business office here with Michelle. And whatever my supervisor wants me to do, I usually do it.
Well, so you're described as the woman behind the food. What does that mean?
The woman behind the food.
Yeah.
I guess I'm behind the phone when anything is ever needed.
Yeah.
I pick the phone up and then I carry the message on to I'm the messenger.
But so many people who are involved in the lunch program, and it's really important in the school district, rely on what you do. And you share a lot of information with people, right?
We share information with the business office, and we share information with pretty much our cashiers. Some of the information we cannot share.
Yeah.
It's pretty confidential.
But oftentimes you're sharing information with the school district and parents about menus and a lot of things that are coming up. Talk a little bit about that.
Okay, we share menus every month. We do a menu for each month, and we give it to our tech person, and they put it on the web.
Kind of a calendar of stuff.
It's a calendar, yeah. It tells the choices every day. We have an A choice and a B choice at the elementary level. They get to pick what they want. They order the lunch through their teacher in the morning, and then the cashier that is at that school will take and call the lunch count over to me, and then I take that lunch count and I take it to our cooks, and I tell them how many lunches are needed at like Parkview or Washington School, and then we go on from there. Then that means the lunch is delivered. And
so, Denise, do you have a computer program that helps you with all these numbers, or do you just know this?
Oh, I wish I knew it. We do have a computer program. All the ladies, it's called Skyward, and it's a program where they can set it up to charge for breakfast or lunch. And there's 2 elementary schools, so there's one cashier at each of those schools. At the middle school, there's 3 cashiers that run the computers. At the high school, there's 4 cashiers that run computers. I get them set up for the beginning of the school year with the pricing and all the information they need, and then when there's new programs that come along, I show them the new programs and try to make it easy for them.
Yeah, so is it easy?
When the web doesn't go down, or it's pretty easy. Sometimes if the server's down, we have to write numbers down manually, or kids' names down manually, or check names, and then we have to go back after lunch and when the computers come back up and scan the kids in.
Yeah. You must have to know a lot naturally just from experience and being on the job from doing it, and knowing how to use the right program, who to talk to, how to communicate. All of that takes a lot of talent. Congratulations.
Well, thank you very much.
Yeah.
I touch base with our tech department and the secretaries and cashiers. I'm kind of like the middleman to everything.
Yeah. And so without that person in the middle, a lot of things on the outside wouldn't happen, right?
Right. I guess you could say that.
So you become really important, and I think a lot of people don't think about all of the staff support that it takes to keep a school system running.
Right.
Yeah, and so what do you tell them about not only what you do, but what a lot of other support people do for the schools?
A lot of the other support.
Secretaries and folks at different schools. You're interacting with the food service people all the time, so there are a lot of other people, not just classroom teachers and administrators, who make the school district successful.
Right, custodians, we interact with custodians. We have custodians help us do the lunch program actually in the cafeterias. The secretaries, they are taking the money in for us every day. Well, the parapros, they help in the lunchroom actually. They help control the lunchroom and the voice volume and or noise volume and a lot of different things.
Yeah, so as you move through in creating a lot of the information that's shared in the school district, do you seem that does it seem to you like it's getting harder or easier over time?
Actually, it's about the same, I think. I mean, when I started probably 8 years ago, I started in the food service department as the secretary, and it hasn't changed much. I see a lot more families being qualified for free or reduced, but things are pretty much the same as what it was.
Well, we'll talk about the free and reduced program because that's something that you've really focused on.
Yeah, we process applications at the beginning of the school year. This year I processed over 300 applications, and I try to get them done before school starts so families know if they're going to qualify for free or reduced. Then we verify families in the month of November. Well, actually it's in October. We have to pick 3% of the families that completed applications and verify those families to make sure that they are telling the truth, everything's legitimate. And then pretty much applications can be turned in at any time during the school year. Some families don't know that, but you can, if you lose your job, if you don't work during the winter time, you can actually complete the application and turn them in at any time during the school year.
So when they apply, how do they qualify? What's the system?
They qualify by family members and their gross income.
And so you make that comparison with a chart that shows them whether or not they're available.
A state regulations, state guidelines.
Yeah.
Right.
And so people wouldn't know that necessarily, and you kind of help them through that process.
Right. We have families that complete applications and they might only put 2 people on the application that make the money, and then when you process it, you don't know that there might be 4 extra people in that family, so you have to make calls and just investigate.
Yeah. So, but the investigation is certainly to everybody's benefit.
It pays off, yes.
Yeah.
Yes, it does pay off.
And so, how important is this program, do you think, to many of the families in Charlotte?
Oh, I think it's very important. I think the food service program actually, when the kids come in for breakfast, especially at the elementary level, that's the first person they see, and it's very important for them to get that breakfast in the morning. And at lunchtime, it's a positive. We want to make it a positive thing.
Yeah.
So.
And for some kids, this is better food than they're going to get at home for dinner, isn't it?
It is. And some kids you don't know if they've got a meal the night before or if they've ate breakfast in the morning, so we try to make sure everybody's got a good meal.
Yeah, and so for you, in processing applications, how many applications do you really have to process in a year? There's so many kids.
There's quite a few kids. Yeah. I actually processed, this year it was over 300 applications. We get information from the state also on kids that are directly certified by the state, so that those families do not have to complete applications.
Yeah.
And there's quite a few. I think we have like 40%. It's like a little over 40% district-wide that are free or reduced.
Well, how do you actually qualify people? I mean, you have to do some investigation, but what does that involve?
It just, actually we go by face value. We
Yeah.
just put numbers in the computer will tell us what the family, if they qualify for free or reduced.
But then you have to work with 3%, you said, of people to...
We take 3% of the people that completed applications and we verify those families, which is only like 10 families.
Yeah.
And they just have to send in their bank statements and things from the health department.
Sure. So tell me, how does the system really work, Denise? Is it working well?
It is working well. Yeah, and I can run numbers. I can just, in the computer system, I can do reports on how many kids ate, how many kids are free, how many kids are reduced. If a child had a bottle of Gatorade at lunch and they weren't supposed to have it, or if they had 2 milks a day, or...
What happens to all that information?
What happens? Most of that information goes to the state.
Yeah.
Or I said statements home to families, and that information is on for the statements that go home to families. They see if the kids actually eating lunch or why they're in the hole or.
And Denise, Kendra, as you have done this job in the school district, have you seen your role or responsibilities change over the years that you've done this?
Um, I guess I try to learn a little more every year. I guess I try to learn what my supervisor does, so if he's gone or something, I can do his job. Or I've actually stepped in and did some cooking. I've actually stepped in and mopped the floor, and I've stepped in and took out trash, and I serve food, and wherever there's a place needed, I go if it's needed.
Yeah. So you get the job done, no matter what the job
Yeah.
is.
We're here to help each other, so.
And that's why you're Employee of the Month.
Oh, thank you.
And so do you have some sort of work philosophy, or do you think about the job, or if you were to sum it up in a short way, how do you view your job, or how do you attack the job every day?
Well, I just go in with a positive attitude, and I love my job. I've always loved working for the schools. At one time, I was a pure pro, and I worked into the secretarial position, and I just love my job, and it makes me feel good. I go home feeling good, and I come to work feeling good, I guess.
And so it's a rewarding job.
It is a rewarding job, and you get to see kids. I've seen kids from kindergarten, in fact, all the way to 12th grade, and I see kids now that I worked at Galewood when I first started working, and I see kids now that are in high school that I knew in Galewood, and it's rewarding. You go to the store and you see kids, and it's fun.
Yeah, so you've actually seen kids grow.
Yes, I see kids grow.
And you've been responsible for helping them eat all those years.
Yes.
So that is a good
Put
feeling.
a smile on their face. Yeah.
And so, what do you tell people about Charlotte Public Schools?
Oh, I think Charlotte Public Schools is a great school. My kids went to school here. I have 3 adult kids, and they've all graduated from here, and they've all had great experiences, and I love Charlotte Public Schools. You know, I love my job, and the school's a good school, and they've made many friends, and I've made many friends through the school, even with parents working through the school, parents and staff members. And
Well, I know everybody appreciates your hard work. Thank you, and congratulations
Thank
on
you.
being
Thank you.
Employee of the Month for October, Denise Kendra,
Thank
who
you.
really coordinates so many of the food service and staffing issues for Charlotte Public Schools. We appreciate your help. I'm Bob Colt, and we'll continue our conversations in Charlotte Public Schools.